To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Hello guys and welcome to Rise of Legion League of Legends tournament, and we are in the quarterfinal stage right now in the business end of the tournament. Game 1 is between White Shadows on the blue side and Lanka Lions on the red side. Joined with me today is going to be my co-caster Fireball. What's up Fireball? Are you excited for this match today? It's going to be a best of 3.
Hello Bishi and hello chat. Yes, I am really excited for the games we have on hand today. White Shadows, a really strong Indian team matching against Lanka Lions, one of the strongest Sri Lankan teams. So inter-country battle right here, and getting right into picks and bans. We see the Zinjao and the Malzahar taken away from the side of White Shadows, and followed by the bans on the Jace and the Evelyn from Lanka Lions.
True man, what are your thoughts on both the teams, Fireball? They both have played really well, and coming into the quarterfinals, it's looking like it's going to be a close match because Lanka Lions, they played against your team, FRE Gaming, in the round of 16, and it was a good game. Nightman had a great performance on the Caitlyn. So what do you think are your expectations heading into this matchup today?
Yeah, we saw both the games. White Shadows against PNX Red before this one had a close game there. Tempest doing really well in that game. Was struggling a bit earlier on, but they managed to close out that game pretty well. And as you mentioned, Lanka Lions played against first round exit gaming. The game went out of hand with the snowball from Nightmare's ADC. So gonna keep my eyes on bot lane there as well. But another thing to notice is White Shadows is playing with the substitute Reaper side, so Joda, who would usually play support, and he would play like Vel'Koz, Zyra high damage supports. He's not there with them right now.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit of a change. And it does look like Reaper Side is gonna play support, so White Shadows are missing out on their stellar carry support in the bot lane IG rookie. But having said that, let's move on to the picks and bans. You can see already, banning out the Malzahar and the Morgana definitely did not want Lanka Lions as mid laner to play that Malzahar pickup. And Zinzao again, a very good ban against Acelot, who's known to be very he's not a one trick I'd say, but he's played a lot of Zinza on his game. And you can see already the Echo first pick coming out, there could definitely be a flex pick, could go in the mid lane or the jungle, but more often than not we've seen that go in the jungle. And what do you think on the other side? That's a Mordekaiser pickup and a Caitlyn pickup again for Nightmare.
I mean, if it went so well the last time, why not pick it again? So they stick with the strong Caitlyn pick, a strong laner with a good scaling potential. Same could be said about Mordekaiser. Now I'm surprised about this Urgot pick. So I know that Reaper Scythe is a good Urgot player. So I'm thinking, wait, he might be going to. I don't know where this Urgot is going right now. To be honest, with the Gangplank locked in as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of flexing coming out from White Shadows right there. That could be Urgot mid, that could be Urgot top, could
Top
be
with
Urgot
GP
bot.
mid.
Yeah, GP mid. I have a strong feeling though this time that Tempest knows that there's a Mordek as a pickup in the top lane. He can comfortably take the Gangplank into it, because I think you can simply orange the Mordek as a run,
Yep,
which is kind of broken, I feel, in my opinion. It's going to be a Trundle pickup, which is also very surprising to see right now, considering that White Shadows have not picked up a lot of tanks in the
Tanks,
game.
exactly. Trundle would be a pick that you pick into a tank composition, so he just steals all the stats and becomes unkillable while doing a lot of damage. So the not many tanks, as you said, and we see the bans being thrown out. The Zyra, as they played in last game, so the Caitlyn Zyra lane would not be available to Lanka Lions in this one. Really oppressive lane that they play against FRE Gaming. And we see supports being banned out from the side of Lanka Lions, taking away the Rakan and the Nautilus.
Yeah, that's gonna be very interesting, because with IG Rookie, they had a playstyle where the bot lane could pick a mage bot, like a brand or a Vel'Koz, right? And now you've noticed that since they are available, they have not been banned out. So it does look like Reaper side will have to pick something in the support lane that might be a standard support player. So we'll have to see if that's a lane that Lanka Lands can look to target, because now that IG Rookie is not in the bot lane, dare I say it's not as strong as the current setup that they have. And the Vladimir pickup right now coming in the mid lane for Lanka Lions right there, Phantom with that pickup in the mid. Very interesting to see that happen, and it's going to be up to Shadow to see what he plays into that pickup. Now that Urgot and GP have been picked, I'm not really sure who's going where. Is that just going to be a Urgot in the bot lane played by Ganja, or it's going to be an AD carry pickup? We'll have to wait and watch. And it does look like it's going to be an Urgot in the mid lane. Fireball, what are your thoughts on the Lucian Rom pickup at the end? I'm assuming that's a Lucian pickup. We don't know if Shadow will end up bamboozling us at the end.
Okay, he does end up locking in Lucian, so pretty standard lane, very strong synergies between those two helps to mitigate that a bit with the shields, with his shield, sorry. And Lulu being picked up, so they're trusting Nightmare to put out that carry performance again, so they have picked up the Enchanter support for him. Now, I'm just looking to see where these champions go. So it looks to me as if TA Shadow is playing support and Reaper Scythe will actually be going top with his Urgot, and Gangplank would be going mid. So
This is a little surprising
where
pickup. I
people
have
flex
a
champions, White Shadows just straight up flex roles with their
Yeah,
players.
that's what they're known to do, right? They have players who can play different champions. They have a shared champion pool. They can go play different lanes. Having said that, though, Reaper's side on the Urgot potentially could just be going top, with Tempest in the jungle going mid against a Vladimir who can just look to farm out as well. But just have a look at both the compositions now that they have been settled out, right? We have a GP Urgot, a lot of damage and AD damage coming out. The only source of AP damage that they have is going to be from the Echo. And on the other side, you see Vladimir, Caitlyn, Trundle, Mordecai is a lot of damage from AD and AP side both. And I'm just looking at both the composition and wondering, right again, do Lanka Lions have a scaling advantage yet again in this game? Or is it going to be White Shadows who seem to be the more, dominant team as we head into later stages of the game? Like, what are your thoughts on both the compositions as we move into the game, Fireball?
I mean, late game, seeing that they have a Lulu Caitlyn with a Vladimir, Lanka Lions definitely look a lot stronger. And like, if I were White Shadows, I would look to complete this game, close out this game like before 30 minutes. Just do not let this game go out longer than it should, because Lucian falls off the cliff later on in the game as well, where Caitlyn just keeps on getting stronger and stronger. So I think White Shadows would be looking to finish this one up quickly with good plays, early plays around the map, and they do have the macro play and the composition to do that as well. So I think that would be the optimal play for them.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to some players in this game, specifically Tempest in the jungle. Now that Shadow's going bot, I'm just surprised because he is one of their carries and he's now playing support because I feel Reaper Sight's more suited to playing in the top lane. So I would say that it does make the bot lane very good because the Lucian Braum can have a lot of kill potential if they land the right, if the Braum Q lands. That's one lane that I feel White Shadows can look to play around, and Shokya has been known to play very smartly in the jungle and gang the right lane. So it'll really have to depend on White Shadow's aggression in the early game as to how they're able to establish their leads in the bot lane and potentially even top if that's a lane that can be ganked, right? So that's going to be where my eyes are. I think the Vladimir is going to be pretty much safe with his pool, so I don't think he'll have an issue there. But I think that the longer the game goes, Lanka Lions has been playing this game for a while. And so have White Shadows, honestly. They are very. These two teams are extremely experienced in the South Asian competitive scene, right? So they know how to rotate. They know when the enemy is going to make these moves happen. So I'm really excited personally to see how game one proceeds. And we'll have to wait and see if the absence of IG Rookie is going to make it difficult for White Shadows to make things happen, or if they actually win with like without their main support, then that's such a high confidence booster for them, right? Because they know that they won without the main support, so they can definitely have him in the game. They can probably make more things happen. But on the other hand, for Lanka Lions to win, they are looking at Nightmare. My eyes will be on that guy. Again, had a stellar performance against FRE Gaming in round of 16, and he is the guy that you can look to carry for in Lanka Lions, and that's something that Shokya and the bot lane of White Shadow will have to shut them down. So we'll have to wait and see how that lane progresses. Uh, Anything else that you'd like to add in terms of both the compositions, Fireball, or something you feel about each team that you want to share your opinion since you have played against both of them?
So yeah, like you mentioned, TA Shadow, one of the main carries, not actually playing a carry role, playing support, but I think he has played a lot of support games for White Shadows, and he has a pretty decent synergy going on with Ganja. So I think they thought that would be the better play to put down a strong bottom lane instead of getting in a sub. So that would mess up the synergies in the bot lane, considering that Nightmare is one of the primary carries, so shutting him down is really important. So they definitely chose the stronger bot lane option, and I'm really excited to see how Tempest does in the mid lane with his gangplank against the Vladimir.
Yeah, I think he'll just look to farm it out. Honestly, both the champions are scaling,
Yeah,
but I feel with Vladimir's potential to just jump in the backline and kill him, it's going to be difficult for Ganja to survive that. But having said that, there is an Echo, there's an Urgot. Echo can use his ult to mitigate a lot of the damage. Urgot is just generically tanky by nature, so I feel like Vladimir will have his work cut out for them. And in terms of CC as well, right? I generally do feel that there is a lot of CC lacking from Lanka Lions. Like, who is their initiate here? Like, who is the one who's going to make the plays happen, right, guys? On White side, at least you have the Brom, you have the Echo to make something happen, but both the teams lack heavy engage, in my opinion. Like, they have big potential, but in terms of out and out 5v5, it really is going to be dependent on a few players possibly making certain catches happen, because there's no like one initiate, right? And either team that can just say, hey, I'm gonna go in, and the team follows. Probably the Vladimir making an initiate would be the only bet I can see from Lanka Lions, but that's about it.
I mean, White Shadows maybe can look to just layer their ultimates. Basically, the Gangplank ult slows them down. Shadow just tries to W into something and put his ult down as well, so that can work as a half engage of sorts. But definitely, there's no clear hard engage from both the sides. But I think with this Caitlyn and Lulu comp which they have, they do not want to engage like primarily at all. They can just fight. They engages White Shadows, throws at them, and we will be heading into a quick pause right here.
Yeah, just a minute's pause so that I think the settings from Lanka Lions can happen. But it gives us time to talk more about the tournament. Now that we are in the top 8, like these 8 teams are all really good, and each of these matches are going to be a best of 3, guys. We are in Rise of Legion, Lenovo's LOL Gaming Championship. It's an amazing tournament thus far, and we are in the business end now with the top 8 teams playing, and the game does resume Fireball. So hopefully we didn't have to wait a lot longer. And level 1 invades Fireball. Do you expect that to come out from White Shadows?
I mean, we
Apparently, the
do
answer is
see,
yes.
yeah, both the teams
Oh,
in,
this is
right
being
in
sorted out. They
front
did
of
this
their
in the
face.
first game as well against Safari Gaming, and it's an amazing bait right there. White Shadows reading them like a book. A brilliant format stun from Echo gets the first blood on Reaper side on that Urgot, and White Shadows have done their prep and how get first blood for their top laner or their mid laner essentially, and that's just going to be a very very smart play coming out. Reading them, like, and just genuinely really well played.
This comes down to like scouting your opponent. They see Lanka Lions trying to do this again and again. They read them like a book and just get the perfect stun with the echo, and the echo stun just lasts so long. Easy first blood picked up by Reaper side. Makes his life a little bit easier. Goes for the ruby crystal with his first blood gold. Gonna give him extra bit of sustain right there. Echo does lose a flash, so that's one thing that Lanka Lions can take
but
away
it's still
from it.
worth, right? They get their
Yep.
they
Oh,
get their
that's
Urgot ahead.
definitely worth.
Yeah. And that will help out Azam's laning phase. Reaper side basically so well because now he'll be able to have more tankiness to survive that lane and just scale up to be the monster that Urgot can be at this point.
Yep.
At what time are you at, by the way, Fireball?
I'm at 147, 148,
I'm
149.
at 153, 54. I'm a little
Oh,
bit
shit.
ahead.
Okay.
Then in the bot lane, you see another nice trade happening. Wonka takes 3 shots or 3 stacks of Braum, but does not
I'm at
able to get full of it.
204,
I'm at 204,
25.
205, yeah. My game is lagging a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm 26 now. 27.
27, perfect.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. So, as the game starts, you can see already Lucian Rom will look to get their aggression popped up in the early game, but the Nightmare with the Kate pickup is no slouch in the early game themselves, right? Now, being a leading carry main, how do you see that bot lane going, Fireball?
I mean, Caitlyn Lulu certainly do have the range advantage, but I think in short trades and just like quick trades, Lucian does a lot more damage than Caitlyn. So yeah, like we saw there, I think White Shadow's bot lane will be just looking to take short trades and whittle down the Caitlyn and the Lulu to a point where they can just all in them like flash in their faces, get the Braum stun off, stuff like that.
True, and I'm not sure what Reaper Sai is doing. He's just standing right there in his lane, allowing Mordekaiser to help freeze it. I think they realize that Trundle could be coming top, and that has been rightly caught out right there. But will Shokya be there to help his top laner out? Something we'll have to see. There is
Good
Flash available,
trade
level 3
by
as well.
Ganja.
I'm not sure what the plan here is, but he
Oh,
teleported.
he
Boys, yes, that happened
misclicked.
in front of you. He did teleport, has to flash, used every ability that he could, but at the end of it, he does survive. I'm guessing it's a bit of nervousness coming out right there for Reaper side. That's a nice few there, and that could be another kill happening. A flash has to be used. So Ganja and Shadow in the bot lane playing extremely aggressive right there. Blows the flash, blows the exhaust, and they're still not stopping. Ganja's going crazy, but he has to blow his heal at this point. Guardian being used. Here comes Echo, and Echo is there. It's a lovely catch, and Ganja, Shad, Lucian that he is, gets it, but Shokya will die in the process, not before they kill Lulu. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. Shadow survives to the skin of his teeth, and White Shadow's aggression in the bot lane showing up how.
A series of interesting plays. First of all, we have to talk about the misclick at the top lane by Reaper side. I don't know what happened there. He misplaced his D and F keys for the flash and teleport or something, or he thought he had a completely different summoner spell. Ends up misclicking the teleport, so loses both of his summoner spells, but fortunately does not die. But in the bot lane, we did see, as I mentioned, Ganja had managed to take a really good short trade before the all-in, and that allowed them
Tempest
to
might
all-in.
be in trouble. Their filler being used, and
At
Tempest
mid
is
lane.
taking a lot of bad trades. He will be in trouble. Has to heal away. would be fine here, but so far so good. He has teleport, mind you, and he is farming, and the wave will slowly push out to him. So when all is said and done, right, Azam is still chilling in his laning phase with almost equal CS. In the bot lane, for White Shadows have now gotten ahead with that really nice double kill coming in the bot lane.
Yep, good double kill followed on with a dive, but they do trade one kill back on the jungler with the good polymorph by Lanka Lions Wonka right there. So this life of Lucian should really be easy with now with the lifesteal item completed. So all the Caitlyn auto attacks he can just lifesteal back.
True, true, true. We'll have to wait and watch. So now
From
the
with
bot lane
double
again,
buff
Lulu's
right
gonna be in
now.
trouble. Does
Oh,
have
the Q
flash.
misses.
Yeah. Q does miss, it looks like.
5 minutes into the game, the farm numbers looking pretty standard everywhere around, pretty much even. The gold, however, to almost 1.5 to 2,000 in
Yeah,
favor
that's-
of White Shadows.
That's
based on
mostly
kills.
because of the kills that
Yep.
they've accrued, right, at this point. And at this level, you expect CS, to be pretty much equal across both the teams. They are, very very long-standing teams. They know how to play the lanes out effectively. So I'm not really surprised that there is an equal seriously. But in the bot lane, you see another gank happening. Flashes on the Caitlyn. There is no flash on the Lulu, but they will look to survive that gank. No, almost though. The stun does land, and the target selection being a little bit weird, I would say, as Lucian goes after Caitlyn, but everyone else is focusing on the Lulu. Having said that, another gang coming, and the wave is frozen right there, so that's not looking good for Lanka Lions' bot lane. Nightmare gonna be in trouble. In the top end, you see, however, there's a nice E right there coming out from Azam, and he will have a successful trade in the bot lane. Will get level 6 as well.
Yep, good plays coming out, a good gank I would say, but the Brom Q hit the Caitlyn, so that made Ganja jump on the Kate instead of just, I think, should have focused down the Lulu. They might have gotten the kill there, so communication issue right there. But in the top lane we do see Reaper Scythe after his I don't know, lack of concentration on this TP play, getting his bearings back and doing pretty well for himself in the top lane, has the Phage completed, and honestly doing really well with the trades on Mordekaiser.
Indeed. The jungle as well, you do see that level 5 has been attained by Truntle, so he is a bit power farming at this point, where Shocky is focusing more on his ganks. Having said that though, that does make it easier for them to go after the Infernal. Or is it going to be a fight for Infernal? No, it's going to be a Scuttle, but there is a question mark thing coming from White Shadows, so they didn't identify that is happening at this point, but it might be a bit too late. Shokya is there, GP has his ult, which is
the
being used,
Caitlyn
but that's a
trap
Caitlyn
zoning.
tap and Shokya falls, so he's not done though.
Oh,
That's
he
the
does
flash, that's
feel
just
it.
the ultimate. He will die in the process, but he
No,
is
totally
a hero.
worth. Totally
Yeah, that's
worth.
totally worth. Getting it for himself. The kill does go over to the Vladimir, however, but the Infernal goes over to White Shadows. And this is what Shokya and White Shadows do, right? They love their dragons more than anything else in the world, and they will fight tooth and nail for it. And even now, they identified that, and they were able to steal it away, albeit at the kill, at the death of the Echo. But still, I would say that would be a worthy trade, as we do see a pause happening on the side of White Shadows. Hopefully, the pause is not longer.
Yeah, Azam just got DC'd, Reaper Side just got DC'd over there. So we see Echo. I thought like the Caitlyn had managed to zone them with the traps and like they have secured the dragon, but Ace misses the smite and the Echo secures it, and they do get a really good early strong fire drake, so that should definitely help them. Mind you, if it went towards the scaling comp with the Vladimir, it would have been really bad. So I really think it's a good trading life of the jungler for the fire drake. And we're still paused, so the Reaper Scythe has connected back. Waiting for the TeamSpeak connection, and we have resumed. Oh, another pause. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick pause right there. Who DC'd it? Looks like it was
Reaper Scythe.
Reaper Scythe who disconnected. Hopefully reconnects back soon. And you can see already, right? Like proactive plays being made by White Shadow. That is how they play. They are not one to hesitate from making plays happen, going after dragons and so on and so forth. So now that they have the dragon in their place, it will help them in the scaling aspect of things. As I do feel that this game might be not one that could finish early, but it really depends on how White Shadows look to play the aggressor. And as you can see right now, like Phantom will be a little bit happy now that he's gotten a kill for himself. So that's going to make him slightly in the lead in the mid lane against Tempest, but I think Tempest is also just fine farming up his Trinity Force at this point. The bot lane, however, is in trouble. So 16 CS lead already against the Caitlyn lane, and Ganja is not afraid to take these trades, man. Playing really well in this bot lane, and Shadow's accompanying him quite well. So the White Shadows bot lane looking really good, and they honestly have been throughout the entire tournament.
Vladimir jumping in on the Echo inside his own jungle.
Yeah, and that's going to be a little bit difficult as he tries to kill him right there. Echo does not have level 6, mind you, so he is going to be... Has to run away right there. What game time are you at?
835, 36, 837, 840.
Oh, perfect. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good invade coming out, and this is going to be trouble for Reaper side. He realized that's happening. He walks it out.
Good ward,
he has
good
nothing
ward.
to do except for flash. Can that 1v3 gang succeed is what we have to see. There is no ultimate from GP to help him out as well. Let's see if LL are able to successfully make this time happen. He is on to nowhere here though. Tanking is happening by Ace Lord, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be a death for Reaper side at the cost of nothing.
Effort, I would say.
Yeah, very tight, very tight.
Not much.
He had his flash still. On the bot side, you see the gank happening, a teleport being used, Lanka Lions making sure that the bot does not suffer as a result, and Tempest is there in the top lane to make plays happen, but he has to also play safe, mind you, because there are still a Vladimir and a Trundle there, and I think that'll be okay at this point.
So yeah, cross map plays all around. Shocker tried to reply with the dive in top lane with their own dive in the bottom lane, but the TP from Mordekaiser denies it, while Tempest TPs to top lane to save the turret, I would say.
True.
Another thing that I want to talk about is how Tempest is probably the most versatile player I've ever seen. I think he has played in a semi-pro to pro tournament on almost every single role now that he's playing mid.
Yeah, I think Tempest is everything except support at this point. Yeah, everything except support. He loves to carry from every lane, and even now he's had a good laning phase so far. 74, 75 CS, farming up to his Triforce very quickly, and just chilling at this point, you know, compared to the difficult games he's had in the first 2 games. He's had a much better game, a much better start in the early game, and that could just be dangerous for Lanka Lions, because this guy, once he gets fed, is going to dish out a lot of damage. And Reaper side in the top lane is having some trouble, has to EAV again, but does not realize that Trundle is there. But here comes Echo as well. It's a fight happening on both the fronts, and that's going to be a 1v1 directly being done on the side of Lanka Lions. And here comes Azam trying to see if he can catch someone off. He's just not able to do so. He does not take any health, and he will die in the process too. And that's Lanka Lions having an advantage on the top side of the map with 2 deaths for White Shadows, and that's not looking good for them at all.
So yeah, Echo did not respect the Q damage from Trundle and died with his ultimate up, so that's really bad on his part. And Mordekaiser just ults Azam and just straight up kills him with the stats that he stole in his ultimate. And those quick 2 kills will translate into turret plating and more gold for the side of Lanka Lions on the top lane.
Yeah, and that's looking very bad for White Shadows, considering now it's the 2 kills on the Mordekaiser. The one guy they probably did not want to get fed is also getting fed, and with, you know, with his ultimate, it's going to be really difficult in objectives for Echo to do something about it. So things just got a lot more difficult as the game is dead even. Just a 500, 400, 500 goal lead for White Shadows. Not a lot, but the game is quite even. So I'm liking that, you know, as we head into the mid game, things might just look a little different. But you can see already bot lane could be another catch, and White Shadows looking to make plays all around the map.
All of White Shadow's lead is currently sitting in the bottom side of the map, so they're constantly trying to make plays. We see how they're constantly trying to dive bottom lane again and again, and they're just trying to make something happen in the bot side where they do have the league, but Lanka Lions are reading that really well and denying that again and again. So
yeah, like just to quickly recap, guys, like top is in on a lead of 700 gold for Raven. The jungle, the Trundle is ahead by almost 800 gold, but the bot lane, Ganja is ahead 1600 gold right now at this point. That's where most of the gold lead is in fact coming for the side of White Shadows, and they have to push that right now and get the first tower so that they can rotate to the top lane and make it easier for the Urgot to just continue farming up right now. But the Trundle though, press the attack Trundle with a Cinderhulk enchantment. I'm a little concerned about the level of damage that he might do. In the bot
And
lane, you see another
bot
trade
lane might
happening,
get
but it's
caught
just
out
too
with
aggressive
that
right
aggressive,
now.
yep.
And Ace Lord
Oh
being there at the
no.
right place at the right time gets the kill. Caitlyn is now on the kill as well, gets a double kill for herself, and that deficit that they had in the bot lane gets instantly mitigated with the dragon popping up as well. And Lanka Lions now look like they are getting themselves a decent goal lead heading into the mid game.
I mean, they had a pink ward in the bush, so and they did not spot anyone, and they had, I believe, the scuttle crab as well. So they were pretty confident in going for that trade in the bottom lane, but the Trundle just popped out with the blast cone at the unfortunate time.
Again, this guy keeps doing it over and
And-
over, and Tempest
oh
is like
God.
1v3. I'm not afraid of this to happen. Gets the kill
And
onto
gets
Lulu,
the kill
flashes
as
and runs
well.
away like a chat that he is. The top lane, the Mordekaiser and Reaper are fighting here. Mordekaiser has to run away. Art does miss out a bit, but he does get the kill back. So Reaper side will die yet again. But in the Dragon Pit, it's going to be White Shadows who come out ahead, as not only do they steal the dragon, but they also get the support for Lanka Lions.
So Shocker coming up clutch with these dragon
Dude,
steals.
the guy, dude. Like, I mean, that's twice in a row he did that. Like,
Yep.
for a jungler looking to smite right now, that's just going to be a confidence blow for Ace Lord, as he's done the right move to get that, but just not being able to work out. The platings are going to go down, which means the tower defenses will not be as high. And that's a perfect opportunity for a rotation from the side of White Shadows. They look to get the first tower, so that's really, really well played. And White Shadows suddenly get the momentum swing back to themselves, as now they also retain the goal lead. And Tempest is the one now fighting against LL Raven in the top lane, as he's finished his Triforce, but he is taking a lot of damage on the other side, though Raven is also dishing out a lot of damage himself, as he look to back down. He is 3-0 fireball in this game right now. That's gotta hurt.
Yep, so they're trying to ease Azam off the Mordekaiser lane, as seeing he's struggling a lot. So Tempest does have a pretty good lead, so he might be able to match the Mordekaiser. So they're just shifting. I think they're shifting the Urgot to the bottom lane to pick up farm and try to scale into the game. But the Mordekaiser is definitely a menace right now. Like mid game, he has his Leandry's Torment. He's gonna do so much damage.
It's lucky enough that Shocker has just been crazy with his flash. He flashes into the dragon pit and stealing the dragons for himself, and that's going to be the Herald being focused out. There is no teleport on the side of Reaper's side. Oh, that's a nice pillar there, but Shadow will be just with this ADC looking to defend. Numbers advantage will be in favor of Lanka Lions, and Mordekaiser looks to teleport at this place, and they're looking to do damage, but then just like Ace Lord has gotten so tanky with the Cinderhulk build, and again, like, who's going to be the one to engage at this point? Caitlyn traps or Rom Q? Like, that's the only way I see things happen for them, right? No team has an initiate as such to make plays for them. Urgot is there in the mid lane, though, looking to make a play happen. The barrels do not
GP
land
moving
from the
in
GP.
on the flash. Oh, flash.
Bronze and
almost
double
got
as well.
out.
It's a nice
Yep.
shot, and that could be LL Phantom going down. Does not realize he is getting pincered from all directions, and that's another kill going out to Tempest, who has now a Hexbringer completed along with his Unity Force and looking to carry from the mid lane. You know, this is the thing. Multi-carry threat is what we call White Shadows. Every player on the team has the potential to carry right now, and Tempest is showing why he can play GP so well in the mid lane.
Yep. Putting his team on his back right now, has that 200 gold bounty with the Hex Drinker complete, so that will save him from the magic damage coming out from both the solo laners.
The next step is Herald, and with the death of Malzahar, that's going to be a free objective being given over. And White Shadows again slowly and steadily getting a lead for themselves with their aggressive plays and the right rotations, and that's really helping out, showing their caliber as a team as they want and look to win it all. And the top lane now will be the next focus for them. However, there is Trundle to follow up as well, and you can see already Lucian's built a Executioner's Calling just to deal with the Trundle and the Vladimir. So that's going to be a very interesting, that's a very interesting purchase, I have to say. Very smart coming out so early
Yep.
into the game.
So Vladimir will just refuse to die if you do not build healing reduction, and seeing as they don't have a mid laner as per who builds Morello Nomicon, so going for the next best option, that is going to be the Executioner's Calling.
Yeah.
And did they put down the Herald? No, it seems that they did not. So I thought they were gonna Herald top lane immediately.
Yeah, and that's going to be Echo again, just looking to farm it out. And Stokya, by his contrast, you know, the KDA might not look like he's had a great game. And yes, he's died once or twice trying to kill off the dragon, but he's still been very instrumental and
he's
impactful,
taking it
wouldn't you
for the
say,
team
Fireball?
right now. Not being a KDA player, Shadow had to flash away from the Trundle pillar. The Trundle subjugates the Braum stealing his tank stats, then Lucian might be caught off right there, but the
Oh,
teleport
here
comes
comes
behind.
Shokya though, and has to eventually ult away, but he might die again. And we're just talking about this guy, but the Vladimir ult will be enough to kill him, and that's a fight that they do not want to take. Meanwhile, Ganja gets stuck into the death realm there, and that's not going to be enough. That's 2 kills going out to Lanka Lions, and they are making these fights work out for them, Fireball.
It is, as I said, the Mordekaiser is just too strong. I think anyone he ults will die. Even the Gangplank, maybe I think the Mordekaiser can take it down. So, the side of White Shadows, at least the carries, really need the QSS to escape the Death Realm.
Yeah, that's just going to be difficult. He needs a QSS ASAP because that he's going to be the target right now, right? Ganja has to be the one because like Reaper side, I'm not really sure he's gonna get ulted, and Gangplank can just orange out of the ulti, so that's something that he can look to. But again, he has to buy so many items, right? Because he also has to buy healing reduction against the Vladimir, against the Trundle, and he also has to buy a QSS. But if he does all these things, he does not have enough damage, so he'll have to really be smart about how he does his itemization here, because that's going to be pivotal to determine if White Shadows can make these plays happen across the map. But I like how Lanka Lions are responding with play after play and making this game dead even, guys. It's 19 minutes in the game, and for once, Shokya is the one who's first on the dragon, and they will look to get it. It's a variety of dragons this time.
Don't have to steal it
Ocean,
this
Mountain,
time.
and Infernal.
Oh, the barrel takes away half of Lulu's health bar right there. Trying to defend that on their own. Shokya
Shokya's
goes
coming in,
in.
looking to get the Caitlyn. Caitlyn will have to flash away, but the damage is still there. Shokya's trying to do what he can, does not have enough damage, he'll have to run back. Shadow here though, that's a GPL being used really well, and Phantom will have to run away with his pool, and that's just going to be a good fight. And the bot in the Shokya is very low. Here comes A-Slot. A-Slot has used his ultimate there. He might be getting pincered right now if he can be identified where they are. He does not have his flash. That could be a free kill for White Shadows, but no, he runs away without getting caught. Can Urgot go and catch him? No, he can't. And at the end of the day, flashes get blown from both the teams, but it's still going to be White Shadows who have some bit of an advantage coming out into that fight.
Caitlyn survived the hard engage on her, and A-Slot is just so tanky right now with his ultimate. He just ults and walks towards Ganja, and Ganja can't do anything. He just has to run away from him, and so that's really a strong disengage sort of coming out.
Tempest's barrels, Fireball, are hurting quite a bit.
Yep, they are starting to do a lot of damage right now, and once he finishes his... I don't know whether he'll go for the crit or the lethality build. We'll just have to wait and watch, but he's just gonna scale more and more, even with his ultimate upgrades coming out. Same can be said with the Vladimir. Both of these picks, the Gangplank and the Vladimir, are just ticking time bombs.
True, and it's really going to be depending on the execution from Vladimir at the end of the day. If he can go and catch the back line, then that's big, but I'm just worried about this Trundle. Though I am questioning his itemization choices, Fireball. There is one AP threat on the side of White Shadows, and he's going for MR. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm not really sure about that. Maybe just for the extra healing.
Yeah, but I
don't
think
really
that
know.
that is an itemization question mark, I would say, considering going after that. Baron Control paid vision completely in the Sri Lanka Lions, as they are the ones who rotate first there. GP is being sent bot to farm it out even further and get the lane. And I think at that point it's a better move. Reaper side though, getting caught yet again, has to run away, gets ulted by Trundle, has to flash out, and then again GP ult used to protect him. And Reaper side just is having a bit of a difficulty in this game, as he constantly looks to get caught out in positions like this where he has to blow his flash. And that's Q for Baron, Fireball.
Yep. Well, I'm sure he's not looking to get caught out. He just gets caught out. And
they are taking so long to do Baron. However, that is not good. That's not a fight. They want a brilliant ult.
Oh, the big
gets
gear
the big
coming
shutdown.
out.
It's a nice. He also gets the nice Caitlyn. Reaper side redeems himself in this Baron fight as he looks like a double kill. And they almost look to get an ace with the TP coming as well. And now, suddenly out of the blue, 4 for 0, 5 for 0, a complete ace, and White Shadows make it happen. Oh, the Lulu survives, but make it happen, being clutch in the right moments at the right time. And now with Baron and a 6,000 goal lead, White Shadows will look to assert complete dominance over this game, as Reaper side still looks to chase the Lulu, but is not being successful enough to do it.
Dude, my boy Reaper side just completely redeems himself, getting in that clutch ultimate, steering all members of Lanka Lions near the pit, and after that is just complete annihilation with his passive, those shotgun legs coming out from the Urgot.
Yep. He proved his mettle when it mattered, Fireball. In the Baron fight, gets a clutch ultimate onto Mordekaiser, lands an amazing E onto Caitlyn, presses W and watches fireworks happen as White Shadows look to get a nearly completed ace and the Baron, which now they have a 7,000 goal lead that they will look to assert
Oh
and get
god.
the victory.
Game just completely turned around after that. Lanka Lions were in some sort of situation to do, but right now with this gold lead and the Baron, I think this is pretty much over
Yeah,
for them right
considering
now.
how slow they did Baron, I think Lanka Lions baited themselves into doing that. And now with Baron, it is so easy for the side of White Shadows to just siege these towers. However, they are coming all as 5. I'd rather they split push into a 1-4, but they just want to look to teamfight right now. But the Tempest
Yeah,
is smartly
Tempest is
gone
moving
bot.
down, yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. But the wave is not crashing at the same time. So while Tempest will do damage, the wave will not be there, and they will again look to go mid. So slight mismanagement, I would say, but that doesn't really matter as they still have the mid lane tower that will be up for siege. Oh, Ganja gets like ulted there and has to pierce us away, but that's not going to be enough as he literally do a lot of damage. He dies at Reaper size on the killing spree right now. Does another kill and this fight, oh god,
Oh,
the damage fight! The
Tempest.
Tempest battle was insane, and that is going to be 3 kills at the site of 1. The AD carry goes down, but everyone else, the other carries of White Shadows, make it happen as they look to close out this game with 3 deaths and a brilliant performance from their substitute Azam to get those right plays happen, and GT as well carrying through the mid lane on that beautiful pick, shocking a lot of damage. Mind you, I might have spoken this soon, but here comes the Brom Q, the Brom stacks getting a kill, and Reapers will have to back out. The game is not yet over as Mordekaiser comes back for a shutdown, gets a 6-1, 13-3, 13-13 equal kill participation, but it's gonna be White Shadows backing off. And that's going to be Infernal Drake. I think they should look to get that at this point, but LL realizing that is the case. No, they have to spot it out. There is a lot of wash to catch, and this might not be good. And Shadow and Tempest will have to be a little bit careful right there to not get caught. And the barrels are hurting a lot, Fireball.
Yep, they just tunneled onto the Lucian so hard that they forgot about their backline, and Tempest just came in with the barrels and murdered them all. So one barrel just takes away half the HP bar of so many members in the side of Lanka Lions that they can't fight anymore. So they did end up losing. Oh, we might see another fight
nice
here. The
even
Dragon.
the Mordekaiser will look to back off. Dragon does go to Lanka Lions, so that's the first of the game. That's a GPL being used where the kicking traps will prevent the Lucian from going in. In fact, he does get trapped out by one of them, but still that's a retreat pattern coming out right there for Lanka Lions. As they got the Dragon, will choose to back off, but things are looking difficult right now with the amount of damage that the GP barrels are doing, coupled with Azam teleporting into 1v5.
Wait,
I'm not sure that thing was great or it wasn't, but it does look like it worked out for them. So maybe yeah, it was great, but then on the other side, he has a retreat because it was attacked with aggressive and he gets the ultimate on to Raven. The guy dies and Reaper side baits him into 1v5 and actually kills. So that's an insanely good play coming out right there, and that's going to be the bot lane inhibitor that will go down, and White Shadows are looking to get an advantage in this best of 3 by taking out the second inhibitor of the game.
Yep, and just looking at the level discrepancies here, Lucian being level 12 with Caitlyn being 10 and Vladimir being only level 12, well 13 now, well Tempest is 15, I'm sure it's going to be 16 soon.
Yeah, that level disparity in the bot lane really struggling. You look at CS as well, Nightmare and Wonka just are not able to match up against
Azam the Madman made the full Mortal Reminder second item. And he's just,
you know what, you guys need healing reduction. He's like, I need damage and healing reduction. He completes to fill the whole item. Is also now going for an adaptive health, which will essentially make him very, very difficult to kill in this team fights. Even now, right, he teleported into 5 people and they could not kill him. That is the power of the Urgot as a champion. He can just press perma W, press his E, get his conqueror stacks and literally not die at this point as he looks to complete his third item.
We just saw him teleport in between, like, middle of 5 people, like legit 5 people, and managed to get a kill for himself. So yep, Azam, after that Baron fight, he's just way ahead of the curve now.
True, and now the game will be to go after the last remaining inhibitor tower. Baron is still not up for another couple of minutes, so it does look like that's the only advantage that they can take. Tempest also, look at the itemizations, Fireball. 3 completed items for the Urgot, 3 completed items for the GP. The solo laners of White Shadows are insanely ahead right now. On the other hand, you just see 2 completed items, or not even 2 in the side of the Vladimir, who's not even finished his death cap at this point, is not doing enough damage in these team fights to warrant his attention on that pickup right there, and that's not going to be good for them, as now White Shadows look to get the top lane tower, and now all the outputs have gone down for Lanka Lions.
Yep, and WS playing it really slow and methodical, but I just feel with the amount of gold lead that they have, they can just straight up walk in and, you know, fight and end the game.
Yeah,
So
they
I
have
think-
that. I think they easily have that ability to do it, but now I think they're just gonna look to play it safe
Yeah,
because they
they're
already
gonna
have the
wait
lead.
for the Baron.
Yeah, Baron's up in 20 seconds right
Yep,
now, so
but-
definitely the next call for them to go for it. Let's see if Lanka Lions will look to respond to that or just give it to them.
Yep, because doing Baron opens up the opportunity for Lanka Lions to potentially get a steal off as well, and or get a backfight.
Against Shocky, I don't even think there's a mental advantage for Acelot to steal,
Yep.
considering he's stolen 2 of the dragons
Okay,
already, right?
Lanka Lions does not even try.
They can't.
so-
They can't. At this
Yep.
point, it's uncontested. It's a 10,000 goal lead. What started off decently well for Lanka Lions, slowly White Shadows always had the lead. Even if they didn't have the kill advantage, they always were ahead in gold. And now, with those couple of fights around the Baron pit, with the Baron itself going in their hands, now White Shadows will look to close out this game in sub 30 minutes. And we'll have to
Yeah.
wait and see what Lanka Lions' final stand is going to be. Can they pull out a Hail Mary? Can this, Mordekaiser do
This
something
is not
about it? But
happening.
it's just looking hard though, right? With QS as a Lucian and GP having his orange, I really don't know how they can do it, but you never know, things will happen when they're meant to happen. Like Azam just goes in
Reaper
deep
Side
right
goes in
there,
by
and there's a
Wi-Fi
nice
again.
Echo ultimate does land, and Azam gets the kill, and this is just going so one-sided. There's a lot of damage coming out from White Shadows that Lanka Lions just cannot respond to, and easily and steadily they just get a complete ace and a hold of this game, as they will look to get game 1 off of an insanely amazing performance from every member of their team right there to take an advantage 1-0 in this best of 3 fireball, and this is gonna be game.
Yep, so game 1 going fair and square for the side of White Shadows. With starting the early game a little wobbly, but just completely taking over in the mid game. My boy Azam completely changing everything near the Baron pit with his clutch ultimate, and after that there was just complete snowball. They did not ever look like they were going to throw the leads, and just finished off the game in a really good manner.
True, when you look at the damage dealt fireball, it's gonna be GP all the way. Tempo again with the stellar carry performance, doing the highest damage in his team by a mile. The next highest damage was 16,000. He did 27,000 damage. So brilliant gameplay coming out for him right there. And we will be back with game 2, guys. Do not forget, this is a best of 3 series, so Lanka Lions are not yet out of the game. Give us around a few minutes. We'll be back with game 2 very shortly. We'll see what happens then.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Hello guys and welcome to the Rise of Legion India League of Legends tournament powered by Intel. Thank you so much for watching. We are currently in the quarterfinals of the tournament. Game 2 is about to start between an amazing matchup between White Shadows and Lanka Lions. Game 1 was won very effectively by White Shadows, as we do see a small disconnect coming. So we'll look to continue that soon. But until then, allow me to introduce you to my amazing co-casters. I have with me Siddharth Frost Ranjan, who will be joining us for a TriCast today. What's up, Frost? How are you doing?
Hey Vishy, hey Fireball. I don't know if
Hello.
he's introduced or not, but yeah, it's going to be a fun match. I missed the first one, but I'm back here for the second one because I know that there's a lot of action on the table when it comes to these two teams.
True. And I also have with me Fireball, who's going to be joining me again for the second game. Fireball, let's just talk a bit more about game one, man. The carry performances from Tempest on their gangplank, as well as Azam surprising us really well with those insanely good Urgot clutch ultimates. What are your thoughts on game one?
Yep, game one, honestly, it looked really shaky at the top lane for White Shadows in the beginning. Azam was doing very poorly in the lane. His lane opponent was like 3-0 up during the laning phase, and he had some issues with his summoner spells as well. But later, he just regrouped his senses, like calmed his nerves, and in that one Baron fight that changed everything, got a five-man fear, I believe, that brought White Shadows right back into the game.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
Tempest being Tempest does just outperforming everyone on his gangplank.
do that. Like a really good performance from Azam. I think he was a bit nervous, but once the nerves calmed down, he got into his element right again and got game one victory. Now it's up to Lanka Lions to salvage this and win two more games in the get go. It's going to be a little bit difficult because now they have IG Rookie, their star support player, back in the support lane. And what do you expect this game to happen? Like, do you think it's going to be another stomp or another victory for White Shadows, or do you think Lanka Lions have what it takes to come back in this matchup and make this into a very even series?
Well, who better to talk about support other than Frost himself? So, considering we have Joda back in the bottom lane, Frost, what do you think about his style of support? Like, he really prefers going towards really damage heavy picks in the Zyra or Vel'Koz support. Do you think those kind of champions are viable in competitive play?
Yep, I think it's all the way these guys play. I think he prefers to become an extra carry by himself. He will rush Zonyas, he will rush the Ludens, and then he'll start dealing damage. So I think that works if you don't check it well enough. But yeah, if it continues, then I'd like to see how it works out because he goes for the Nautilus as well sometimes.
Perfect. So it does look like we are back in the game, guys. We look to start off again. And game two, right? So we'll have a look at picks and bans today. And basically, this is going to make it very, very interesting to see what Lanka Lions look to ban right now because the Urgot pick was, I think, very specific towards Reaper side. And this time the Jace ban. So Tempest getting his respect on that champion right there. And you might see same bans coming out from White Shadows the Malzahar, the Nocturne, and the Zinzao.
I think in general, the top laner for Lanka Lions prefers to play a lot of tanks, so I don't think they want to give the Jace away so that he can have a free laning phase.
True, true, true. That
Zinzao,
definitely.
Malzahar are pretty standard bans.
Yeah, and again, Gangplank as well. So Tempest getting his carry bans really banned out against him. And honestly, we haven't seen him on anything else so far. So I'm quite interested to see what Tempest will pull out of his champion pool pocket this time. But it's going to be Lanka Lions with the first pick, Frost. Let's see what they have to pick for themselves in this must-win game for them in the best of three series.
Yep. And I think they might go with. I think one of the AD picks here goes to the Syndra. I think trying to deny it away from Shadow. White Shadows can respond with a whole host of options which they can flex each other, like to each other's lanes. It can be the Tristana, it can be Lucian. They have a lot of wacky picks lined up, so they could just pick Vel'Koz here once again or a Zyra. Echo.
Yeah.
Again, another thing which is flexible for them.
Yeah, that's the third time in the whole tournament that they have just picked Echo straight up. I think whenever Shokya has gotten Echo, he's taken it more often than not. It has gone to him in the jungle, but I do know that it can also be played in the mid lane by their mid laner Shadow. But that's a Syndra first pick coming out right there. Mid lane first pick so early in the game can leave you open to getting countered through a lot of champions. But Shadow does not choose to go for an outright counter, but instead goes for the Orianna. So what are your thoughts right there with that mid lane pickup? Do you think Lanka Lions might just put that in the bot lane to bamboozle Shadow, or do you think that is going to be a straight up Syndra versus Orianna matchup in the
I
mid
think it's a
lane?
mistake from White Shadow's side. I don't think they needed to show the Orianna that early. They could have easily let them to believe that that the Echo was flexing somewhere. so that there would have had more advantages in the draft phase. But they do decide to pick it early, and them picking Oriana this early might also denote that Rocky might go mid. So again, like blind picking Mordekaiser from the side of Lanka Lions, you have no idea how many melee champions are against you. So I don't know how good he is on the Mordekaiser to warrant blind picking it. I wouldn't really agree with the current situation of Big Bang
Yeah,
from
I
both the
think
teams.
the ones that he was afraid of were the Jason, the GP. It looks like they had this game plan where they just wanted him to play Mordekaiser and banned out champions that could do well against him. But having said that, Tempest can still pick things like Ilawi, can still pick things that he plays a lot, right? So I'm not really worried about what he can pick right there. Having said that, Joda goes back to his Vel'Koz support, so that is confirmed Shadow playing in the mid lane right now, and we'll have to wait and see what happens in Fireball. What are your thoughts right now, looking at both these compositions so far?
So right now, I'm just really excited to see what Joda does on his Vel'Koz, being notoriously famous for doing the most damage in his team and being pretty proud of that as well on the support role. And we do see Nightmare just defaulting back to the Caitlyn as well, because he has been putting out good performances on that. And the next bans would be the Zyra Jarvan from WS to deny the Caitlyn Zyra lane, and the Ashe being banned out. So I think they do not want the focus heavy poke focus lane on the bottom side with the Vel'Koz.
Yeah, and I feel like the bans will now be focused on the AD carry pool, and I really like this adaptation from Lanka Lions, banning out the Ashe that the Vel'Koz pairs up perfectly with, and also the Tristana for any sort of early game aggression. That still leaves things like the Jhin and the Lucian for Ganja, which is exactly what he's hovering on right now. And we might just see a Lucian Vel'Koz bot lane, but I'm not really sure how that works out in the greater scheme of things. And yeah, that's going to be Lucian picker. I
I
think he
mean,
did
there
really
have
well.
been times that they've flexed Lucian to other lanes as well. It might be a top lane Lucian also with Ignite. That has happened before.
Wow, a double mage bot lane with Oriana Vel'Koz sounds crazy, and if there is one
I
team
don't know
that
if
can
it's
pull
like
that
Oriana
off,
because they can still pick Jhin there, right? But yeah, let's
Yeah,
see. They're just trying to
because
protect their picks, I guess.
I think Lucian and Vel'Koz just don't fit very well against each other. Lucian just wants to be in your face, short range AD carry,
exactly.
while Vel'Koz having such a long range spells. So let's see how that works out.
Ramus against a composition
Not
that is
sure about
primarily AP.
Rammus. Not
Okay.
really sure about Rammus against that comp at all.
What are your thoughts on that pickup, Frost? Like, why do you think Ramus would have been the choice for Lanka Lions at this point if they wanted to pick it for whatever reason?
I think they just want early ganks against this kind of a draft which is being put forward by White Shadows, where they're picking comfort. Mind you, getting ganked at wrong times at the Rammus in lane, yeah, that can end up hurting you a lot as well. So it is going to be the Nar pickup for Tempest. So this leaves all the lanes open to a lot of ganks. You see Shadow immediate switch from the barrier to the cleanse because he needs to have a safe laning phase.
Yeah,
Into a
and
lot of gank pressure, right? Because there is a Nautilus against a Vel'Koz. One hook on him is going to be a free CC coming out from LLA slot side. So, yeah, I think this is something which Lanka Lions had been.
yeah, if there was one thing that the composition lacked in game one was engage, but in this one they have engage from jungle, from support, from even the mid lane if you can land a stun right there. So a much more in your face sort of composition with Lanka Lions, that they can be the one to dictate the plays. On the other hand, you do see not a lot of engage again on the side of White Shadows this time, as they look to pick out the Nar in the top lane, which can do well against the Mordekaiser and has an ultimate initiate, but not the most reliable of champions to have an engage on. So I'm a little bit surprised with that pickup right there. Perhaps something else would have been more appropriate. But now that both the compositions have been rounded off, guys, what do you guys think about White Shadow's composition as a whole? Because it looks a lot of AP damage and then some bits of engage, but I'm not really sure about synergistically how they, work together.
I mean, this is vintage White Shadows at this point. Build 5 sources of damage, carry the game from there. But I think if it comes to like a full team fight scenario, and if Joda is left alone in the fight near the back, he will be dealing a lot of damage because he is one to fire just one Q into a Vel'Koz ulti. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how Lanka Lions adapt, because I did not see the last game, so I don't know how close it was or one-sided it was. So I think from the side of Lanka Lions, I think the name of the game is, Ramos getting his lanes ahead and then snowballing the lead to other lanes after that.
Fireball, what do you think Lanka Lions need to do differently than game one for them to be able to win this game? Because it does look like they have definitely changed up their draft, but have kept something similar like the Mordekaiser and the Caitlyn from last game. What are your thoughts in terms of what they will have to do to make make this game happen for them.
Yep, like as Frost mentioned, the Rammus will be looking to just keep spam ganking the lanes, try to get them ahead early on, and bot lane. I think White Shadows will focus towards the bot lane again. Like last game, they were constantly trying to get dives off or make plays towards the bot side. Now with Joda back as well, I assume like if everything goes to plan, the Caitlyn will never be above half HP in her lane because of the Vel'Koz poke and the Lucian short trades. So that sets up Shokia to deal a lot of damage, and considering their red side as well, so they have a safer lane towards the bot side. So I think that will be more bot focused.
That's true. We just have a minute more into the game. This is a fight for the semi-finals, guys. We are in the Rise of Legion India League of Legends tournament powered by Intel. Follow all the tournament progress on legion.lenovo.com, guys, where all the game videos will be there for you to watch on the YouTube channel as well, Legion Gaming. Do subscribe to that and make sure that you guys are following the action right from the get-go. And honestly, like my own personal thoughts here, I feel White Shadows have picked more for comfort in their own lanes, but I'm not really sure about how these champions might synergize in a team fight scenario. And I do feel Lanka Lions this game definitely have a lot more tools up their arsenal to make plays happen. So it's really on them, I would say, that they have to make the one to make these plays happen. If they are able to do it, then yeah, we'll be in for a cracking game 3 where semi-final spots will be up for grabs as I say that. And yeah, I mean that's about it. Like, if is there any players for you to watch, Frost, if you had to pick someone from either team?
I think for me, I think whenever Jodha is playing, I find it very hard for me to, put my attention away from, on some other player. But yeah, I think from this side, I think Shadow again, he also has a very important part to play because if you see, Shadow and Shocky are the two stable components of this team, with the others playing very volatile. So I think their consistent performances are very necessary for White Shadows to bring it home. Moving back to Lanka Lions side, I think it's time for Acelot to step up and be the captain that he is. He has to lead from the front. He has to get those ganks in, and hopefully, I think from Lanka Lions side, it should be Acelot for me.
That's true. As we head into the loading screen, uh, yeah, I think Lanka Lands are playing on accounts that do not have skin, so I cannot do the skin game here. But Barrier from Vel'Koz right there does not choose to take Ignite, so probably more safety in that regard. And there's going to be a cleanse from the Oriana to prevent any sort of engage, which makes sense because you have a Rammus and Nautilus is going to be up in your face trying to CC you to death. So that's a smart pickup right there. And yeah, as the game starts, I'm really looking forward to seeing how
Yep.
how Shokia and Acelot look to get these lanes rolling. I feel there is a lot of gang potential in the bot lane. If you catch on the Vel'Koz with the Nautilus and the Rammus, that's going to be an insta kill right there. And top lane as well. I think Nar is going to be safe, so that's harder for Acelot to look to gang. So if I was him, I'd probably look to gang the bot lane or the mid lane at this point.
Yep. I mean, talking about the barrier on Vel'Koz as well, because I think if you're playing the Vel'Koz right, you should never be in range for Ignite
Right.
anyway. So agree with the barrier pick right there, and all the rune choices pretty standard as well. And we do see some sort of invade again by Lanka Lions, all 5 members grouping together. We did see this backfired for them in game one
Yeah,
when
but
WS
this time the
reddit.
pathing is different. They're not
Yep.
on the red side and going on the brush just next to the mid lane tower. It's very smart because they have a Nautilus right there. It's really going to be up to Rookie, who does identify it. Will that be a flash auto coming right there from Wonka? He
Oh, the hook
lands his
land!
Q. He has to instantly flash out though, so that's good enough. That's a nice Q right there from Wonka.
And the important thing, Vel'Koz has no flash. So he has to play with a lot of respect at bottom lane because you might just see a level 2 can coming out. Meanwhile, Acelot, his path is cut off from the rest of his team, but yeah, the rest of the Lanka Lions will be there to back him up, so he'll be happy here. I think right now like when Rocky does not have flash, it becomes an extremely simple gank at bottom at level 2 or level 3, so he needs to be really careful afterwards.
It'll really depend on the wave management, right? Like as an AD carry or the bot lane final, what do you think now White Shadows will have to do for the next 5 minutes now that they're flashless?
I
I
mean,
was
if
them, I
I
would.
were
I'm sorry.
Lanka
Go for it.
Lions,
Go for it. Sorry.
yeah, if I were Lanka Lions, I would take the red on Ramus. Oh, he unlocked the W, so I guess that was for the clear. He could have gotten Powerball and unlocked Taunt level 2, and the Nautilus just straight up flashes onto the Vel'Koz. I think that might have resulted in a kill, seeing that the not Vel'Koz
Yeah,
isn't that
there's a
fast.
lot of wards on the blue side of the map for White Shadows. One in the river and one on the blue buff
So
to
yeah, they were
rectify.
expecting that, so I think they avoided the tribe rush right there so that they don't die level 2.
Yeah, and Tempest does give a nice leash to his jungler and does not miss out on CS, so that's good for him that he's able to catch all this up. Playing with the Dynana skin and a Chroma. Oh, I like that. Should probably buy it for myself, but standard starts and it does not look like Rammus might look to gank. He's going for a full red clear, it looks like, for the higher HP advantage. And oh, that's a nice E that lands on to Tempest from the Mordekaiser right there.
I think they just picked Mordekaiser to be Raven, feel self-sustained in lane and so that their jungler is free to gank the other lanes, I guess. Meanwhile, trading at going on at bottom. Another
The
nice
hook
the
does
hook
land
will
this time.
land.
Barrier has to be used in response. So now truly flashes, but on the other side, Nightmare gets died right there with a brilliant counter attack from Ganja right there to kill him. And Vel'Koz uses one last Q to get that kill. And now first
The
it goes
BM
over to the
coming
support
out.
carry, IG rookie right there, being the guy to make plays happen for his team. Man, this guy doesn't ever stop surprising.
So yeah, one of the rookie mistakes in bottom lane, where you focus the support and just leave the AD carry alone. The Lucian just managed to bring out all the burst onto the Caitlyn right there, taking her down while they were trying to get some damage off onto Jodha. So yeah, basic mistake coming out right there.
I think apart from that, he didn't use his sums as well. Not to mention,
Oh, yeah,
Yoda
he
uses
died
barrier
with
too
both the
early.
summoners
That was
down.
not a good example of a good bot lane trade because Yoda ended up using barrier when he did not use to because the Caitlyn couldn't follow up. I think Nightmare not expecting the fact that the Lucian can jump on and one-shot him, so not really working out the best bot lane play from Lanka Lions. I think the hook landed, but I think they should have planted it afterwards.
Yeah, Nightmare honestly has had difficulties in the whole series today. In the last game as well, Ganja definitely got the better of him, and now Rookie and Ganja combined are getting the better of him in the bot lane. So he will have to really step up because if Lanka Lions are looking to win this game, it will be on the carry of that Caitlyn. So he will need to make sure that he does not die in these sort of scenarios and does farm up to become a beast that we know he can be in the bot lane. As you can see already, Rammus also was trying to farm up, but Shokya is predicting that Rammus could be there, decides that, okay, you know what, it's not worth it, wards it and run away, and he has nothing to take. Probably will look to go bot and see if some plays can happen, and that's gonna be the next plan of action for him.
Another gank is coming down at bottom.
The hook
once
will
again does
land
gank.
onto Jodha and the root will be put down onto
Ganja has
Ganja.
heal though,
Ganja
Ganja has
taking
heal,
a
and
lot of
waiting for that
damage
heal
right
is
there.
crazy. As there's still a flash on the side of both the players, and he will survive those kills to steal, but no, Shokya gets the last auto attack and will slay the support. And here comes Nightmare, does not have heal, does have flash, but the lovely Q right there from Echo gets it's a double kill on the bot lane for White Shadows.
Not to mention they lost all their summoners at bottom lane, so it's going to be
Mid
a
lane is
horrible setup.
also
for them.
trading very, very heavily right
Yeah.
there.
And this is just lanes till the coffin, right? Because it becomes very difficult now to play a kind of a tanky support against this kind of a poke support. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Shokya getting 2 kills right now is really good for him. Now he can look to make other things.
Oh, the
This is
stun will
really
land in
difficult
the
for
mid
Shadow.
lane, the
He has to use cleanse and will be flashed on, but both the flashes being blown. In fact, Phantom almost dies in trying to be greedy to kill Shadow right there, but both flashes blown at the end of the day. And Ignite is still available in the
Yeah,
side.
if he just used Ignite earlier on, I think Shadow would have died. Immediately after he cleansed, I think he should have just ignited him.
Yeah, that's true. But really, now that flashes are gone for both the sides, it's basically free pickings for the jungle right there. Acelot has primarily looked to farm in this game, and Echo again, Shokya being the ganking jungler we know him to be, has made some really amazing plays in the bot lane. But now, mid will be susceptible to ganks, right? Fireball considering now both the flashes are not up.
Yep, both the summoner spells off on the Orianna. I think Syndra can easily set up a gank for the Rammus as well. And they should be expecting that. White Shadow should be expecting that. Ye Shadow will be playing a little safer right now. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we do see Caitlyn keeping up in those CS number, but is 0-2 down. Just has a dagger and a pair of boots. So definitely not enjoying laning against Vel'Koz as no AD carry does.
Yeah, and just the game state right now again seems to be heavily in favor. It's a 2000 goal lead Frost. White Shadows being yet again the aggressors, and this is working out really well for them. Throughout the series, they've been the more aggressive team. And what do you think, like, you know, other teams will need to do to stop this aggression coming out from White
They
Shadows.
just need to place, like, if you see, I mean, oh my god,
I'll have
somebody
to
just keep it
interrupt
for
you
the
here.
pink
There is
pot.
going to be a teleport, a crazy teleport. Tempest being the team player that he wants to be, teleports to get the Nautilus and
What
slays
am I
him
watching?
for kill. You know why? Because these guys won the dragon. I'm telling you, White Shadows like are crazy about their dragon. They're just gonna go and get their dragon. Tapu's gonna go back, and that's about it. They notice Infernal first, boys. Go fireman right here, and that's about it. But a really good teleport.
Lord wants to like kill the pink ward right there, and Tempest is just like nope. Teleports on the last health bar, completely bamboozles the Rammus, and Rocky lands a simple knockup, resulting in a kill right there. That was like one of the most random kills I've ever seen in the
Yeah,
bottom
I mean,
lane.
the support's already 0-1, but I love the commitment from Tampo right there to just make sure that he gets that kill. And good that he got it, honestly, because if he just got an assist there, then that teleport might have been a bit questionable. But then he got the kill, so he comes back with the Fate in the leading phase, and he still is ahead in CS. So that's very commendable that even through that, he's able to make sure that he is able to farm up and actually have a CS lead now that he's going to catch all the way into it.
I think Lanka Lions are just not used to this kind of gameplay. I think no team is used to this kind of gameplay where they randomly TP, take some random trades. But yeah, this is what works for them. This is vintage White Shadows, and this is how they play every single game. And if you look at the amount of vision which they managed to bring together, like the entire bottom half of the river, 3 pings in the river itself, a ward over near the wraiths, a ward like they have the scuttle crab there, so they have complete priority over the infernal dragon, and they have no way to spot when the echo is going to approach them at bottom lane. Raven deciding not to TP at top and still being behind in CS, I think just pretty much sums up how it's going for him. It's going to be hard for them, and not to mention, like, I know like the White Shadows bot lane has been doing very well, but they don't have a lot of good CS numbers either. 50 CS at 8 minutes, despite having multiple solo kills in lane, not the best thing.
And another thing to notice is that all the kills have either gone to the jungler or the support. The carry is sitting on 4 assists right now, so that hurts. The kills not
Does
going
it
for
though?
the
Because
Ragnar.
that's just accelerated Joda at this point, so I don't know if
So
how
I
much
mean,
of the
yeah,
hurting
with
bit is.
Joda on the game, who is real carry, Ganja or Joda?
I have to give it to Joda because whenever he plays Vel'Koz, he has the highest damage on his team, right? So in that regard, yeah, Joda probably, but I still feel Ganja has played exceptionally well in this series, and we have to give credit where it's due. The whole of White Shadow is honestly playing really well. Even their sub player Azam with a really great Urgot performance in the first game, right? So we have to give credit to whole of White Shadow that are looking very, very good right now and in form. And Tampu on that Nar is trying to make plays happen as he looks to use his ultimate. No, he doesn't, and Raven's going to be in trouble. Why is he taking those trades? And the ult just whiffs.
Oh, the ult.
Unfortunate right there, or I don't know what else to call it, but that ultimate did whiff right there. I think if he had gotten an ultimate, he probably would have blown the flash or killed him right there.
That's also true, and yep. Apart from that, I think Shokya immediately on the invades. I think there's some credit needs to be given. The moment he sees the jungler on the other side, he's always going to go for an invade on the opposite side. Manages to steal away the blue, which is going to be a good pickup for him, and a good denial from Syndra. Rammus, I think again, they are getting obsessed by the fact that there is this unnatural bot lane combo winning, and he is trying to gank it as much as possible. It's becoming really hard for them. He is rolling in though. Joda has both the
Oh, the taunt
he
does
slashed
land this time,
taunt
but
onto
the
Joda.
few misses by Nautilus, but that's still going to be enough to kill the Vel'Koz, who's trying to do what he can to do a lot of damage, and Ganja's being there as well. Will he die in the process? Rammus is going in. The Q what happened, and he missed it up completely. And here comes Shadow. Can he land the clutch? Orion ultimate, we're looking for him to land. He's just autoing Aestot right now. Aestot also led by blindly, but he will be able to kill him. On the other hand, the Ganja also gets to kill the Caitlyn, and this is just going from bad to worse for Lanka Lions as they also lose the top lane Herald. It's a 1 for 7, the 4,000 gold deficit for the Lanka Lions. Frost. This is not looking good for them at all.
And this is the global taunt, which is Joda. I think they missed the ult. First of all, he flash taunts, then the Nautilus misses 2 to 3 crucial hooks in the whole fight and manages to end up killing himself. Ganja played that really well. He saved his dash for the second hook to come out, and Nautilus ended up going into the tower. Nightmare decides to, I can't get out from the arena, so might as well fight. Another fight going on, and I think Shokya might look to solo Phantom here. He has the damage. Decides not to
Good
pursue
flash
it.
will save Phantom right there.
Yeah, and again, you see a fight happening. Shadow versus Aestor, V2, let's go 2-0 though. Echo right there is not afraid to invade the jungle and make plays happen. Oriana as well, farming up like a beast and is so close to taking the first tower of the game as well.
Yeah,
and they'll
and
get it.
they will get it, and because the echo is already so accelerated, they're gonna get the mid tower first of all the towers, which is one of the
Oh,
most
I think the
important towers.
Claytons are a little hard to get by, but look at A-Star trying to jump in, but does not realize he does not have enough MR.
No.
Dies against 3 AP mages looking to poke the hell out of him, and that's just going to be going really bad for A-Slot. He was the
I
one
mean-
that we were looking from Lanka Lions to look to carry, but he's the one who's not doing well. Here
Oh,
comes
flash.
Shokya. Style points to get on that Syndra right there. Gets the kill, ults away for defense, and that's the first star going over to Shadow. Meanwhile, the top lane, though, you can see Raven now wants his redemption right there. Tempest might be in trouble. Has to use his Dragon up, but does not do it. And Raven finally some semblance of hope for Lanka Lions as the top laner gets a solo kill onto the Nara.
Yeah. All round weird plays. I don't understand why a melee Rammus of all champions would even try to walk up to try to clear
Because
the
they
way
don't
with the mid
expect
lane.
it. They do not expect it. They don't expect the 3 ults will be used just to kill. Another fight going on, breaking out the bottom lane though.
This does not stop. Ganja is, I think, envisioning the power of friendship right
Oh,
there. But
them
might
for a
have
trap.
happened to Soon, but never mind, he gets the kill. But there's a shutdown going over. So that's not good. But here comes Teleport. Nah, that might be on the Nautilus, and yes, he gets him. He'd also get A-Slot. We have to see. I don't know why he's taunting him. Just run away at this point. And he does, and they will survive. At the end of the day, it's still a 2-for-1 trade, but the big shutdown does go over to the Caitlyn. So, you know, that's not the worst of trades for Lanka Lions.
So,
Not the
again,
best of teleports from them as well. And yep, the global taunt is still working.
Yeah, Yoda, exactly. Everyone just
Oh, it's a nice ultimate. They're
Channeling
paired
on
up
the
with
well
Joda's speed. It's rubber right there. Oh my god, Raven's doing a lot of damage. This guy's not afraid. One more Q and he could probably kill Tempest right there. And he will. Yes, he succeeds. And Raven twice in a row has been doing really well. I have to give him credit for that because in the last game he went 6-1 as well. And this game also, he's twice managed to make really good plays happen for his team.
Yep, and Joda once again using his barrier for no apparent reason whatsoever. But yeah, that happens from him, I guess. The thing is, people decide to focus. Oh, another fight might break out with bottom lane though.
Yeah, at this time though, there is no teleport on the Oriana. So this could be Lanka Lions getting the kill, getting the dragon for themselves. So
Shokya is here.
and that's the first Infernal going away. So that's just gonna be, I think, for the first time, a Drake going in favor of
Shokya couldn't steal this
Yeah,
one away.
Shokya couldn't steal it in this game, but that's still something good for them. Lanka Lions trying to hold on, you know, to this game as much as they can, but then Shadow is just farming up and trying to get the towers, so it's difficult for them to keep the rotations up, and Joda on that support as well, just being so hard to deal with in that
I
bot
mean,
lane.
they're really disrespecting the Lucian as like whenever Hook lands onto Joda, they try to all in Joda while he has both his summoners up. And in that time frame, Lucian
Oh, here comes
just
Nar as well.
completely
He
bursts him
misses
down.
right there. Phantom could be in trouble. I think Tempest could have gone for it, but decided not to because he doesn't know where the jungler is. In the bot lane, you see Ken Wonka and Nightmare go and make these plays happen. They're waiting for Rammus. It could be another gank, and Joda puts the right in the right place. And look at the damage! Completely does a lot of damage, but then Lucian gets trapped. But not if we can get the Nautilus at this point, and Ace does come to salvage it. But even in a 3-for-2, White Rose get a 1-for-1.
And what is the situation if the Ganja ended up dashing into a trap? That
Yeah,
was a
that's
little
exactly
weird.
what happened
He dragged
right there.
right into the trap in front of every one of them. So,
I
I mean, yeah, I think Lanka Lions will take it at this point. They're getting kills on the Caitlyn while trading kills on the Nautilus, who's 0 and 5 anyways. Nautilus going double cloth armor against a Vel'Koz support pretty much sums up his whole game. I don't know why he hasn't gone boots at all.
Oh, he
That's
doesn't
really
have
weird.
boots. Okay.
Yeah, so going,
is-
you know, against a skill shot oriented champion where you have to move around a lot in lane, not going boots.
And
Not the
he
best choices.
has
That's what
one of
happens when
his
you lose, I guess, to the
Minion
you know,
dematerializer
uncanny.
as well.
yeah. But that can be fixed later on. But I think no, not having boots at 15 minutes into the game as support is pretty much inexcusable.
Yeah, and if you just look at the CS numbers, right, like Ganja has been doing well in the lane, but he is behind in CS. On the other hand, the mid lane deficit
two
is
kills
even
out.
worse, where Syndra is 0-1 behind, has not even finished one item. Meanwhile, you're looking at Shadow completing 1.5 items with completed boots. So he's just so far ahead. The goal difference in the mid lane is 3,600 at this point. That's the goal lead. That's insane right now. Half of Whitehall's goal lead is in the mid deficit. And that's just crazy.
And now when the map opens up, when Lanka Lions have lost all their starting line of towers, it's going to become difficult for them to cover vision on all sides, and they have to lane assign really properly. And again, Raven once
Raven
again.
is betting off a little more when he can chew, but he actually ends up taking Rookie into that Shadow Realm. Can he get the kill before he dies? And he does. So that's really well played by him when all is said and done. But here comes Echo, gets the kill onto the Mordekaiser, and they're just so far behind. Syndra has to flash away. Here comes Caitlyn and Damage.
Oh, a good hook.
Do not kill the Syndra. And Shocky has to ultimate right there. My god, Phantom survived to the skin of his teeth right there.
So Nautilus hooking the Echo out of his E animation right there will saving the Syndra. So a good pickup, a flash ultimate coming out from Raven just to kidnap the Vel'Koz and get him into his realm.
Oh, that's a nice ultimate from Tempest.
Good ult.
Here comes A-Slot as well. The ult was great, and though the damage though is just insane right now, and Caitlyn is doing what she can, but just not enough. And these trades, the deficit in the gold, the itemization disparities, making it so difficult as Shokia finds himself 5-0-1 in this game.
This Echo is coming out really huge. It has the Dark Seal with 4 stacks. I really want that to be converted into a Magi, but don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'd assume Joe is the one to build the Dark Seal, but he knows he dies a lot as well, so he doesn't want to build it. He's like, I'm gonna go all in, boys. If I die, I die. So that's gonna be it. But I still am very impressed by how well White Shadows have played this entire game. You would think that the compositions eventually might not have any sort of an engage, but they are doing so much damage. And as Frost rightly said, right, every lane, every person in that game has damage from White Shadows, and that's the kind of style that they love to play in this game.
I mean, just looking at the little things as the vision scores as well. If you compare the junglers 8 vision score to 27 in mid lane.
Oh lord, that vision score comparison.
Yep, the ADC is 7 to 16, support being 14 to 27 just shows how much White Shadows are prioritizing vision and making sure that they know everything that they should before making plays.
Yeah, this is not looking like a great game at all. White Shadows looking to make another close happen as we get into the semi-finals. The first team in the tournament to reach there so far. We have 3 more best of 3 games coming, guys. Remember, this is Rise of Legion India League of Legends Championship powered by Intel. We are in the quarterfinals of the matchup. This is match 1 between White Shadows and Lanka Lions. And White Shadows are the 1-0 lead in this best of 3 series. So they are looking to seal the spot in the semi-finals by taking the next Cloud Dragon that is completely uncontested. And looking very comfortable at this point. Wouldn't you say, Frost?
Yep, and I think there should be an easy transition to a Baron. The amount of vision they put down, and especially the way they play around their vision, they're so protective of it. It's good from their side. I think they should be slowly transitioning towards, moving their vision towards the Baron side and then looking to take it at 20 minutes from there.
Yeah,
because it's very hard to check like small chokes against Orianna and Vel'Koz, so you end up taking a massive chunk.
Who are you looking at right now on the side of Lanka Lions to make or to let them come back in this game? Like, who are we looking at right now, Frost, that can make these plays happen? Oh, that's a nice ultimate, but Echo ultimate's back. It's a lovely read on Orianna ultimate followed by a Vel'Koz ultimate with a Nile ultimate. It's a double kill from Ganja. That's going to be a 4-0 trade.
God,
and what a lovely ult after ult sort of a combination happening with White Shadows. Beautiful. In the right time as well as 20 minutes happen. That's going to be Baron, but what a brilliant series of events. The Echo ultimate, the Orianna ultimate, the Vel'Koz ultimate, and the Nar ultimate, and lovely.
That's what you call a 3000 elo shockwave, dude. Get almost all members, like 4 members of Lanka Lions into the easy combo follow-up. Like, that was so satisfying to watch, honestly.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
going to be Baron for
get the
them,
Baron as well, and this game is completely out of hand. It's like 13,000 goal lead at 20 minutes.
Even the opponents appreciating, saying that was nice to watch. And I agree with Wonka completely. That's a really nice set of ultimates, one after the other.
And this was a fight which Lanka Lions started. They thought they had the flank. Not respecting the Ori ball, all of them go to line up. Shockja is able to reset the aggro with his ultimate, and yeah, Yoda is able to flash over the wall, and then they just turn around. Beautiful set of events from their side. Everybody comes up in the right time. The Nar also happened to have the Mega Nar charge right there when he TP'd, so that was good on his part. And now I think it's going to be lights out for Lanka Lions to move slowly, because they're going to be pushing 3 lanes at once, and yeah, it's going to become very hard now.
Lovely though. I'm gonna replay that tournament fight again. It was so nice to watch it. I think honestly, like, Shadow's ultimate was the clutch there to get them all in a ball, and that was just crazy. So now that they have Baron, now they're looking to make more plays happen. Let's see where the next lane assignments will be as Tempest
Dude,
looks to go bot.
I just feel Frost is so triggered right now by seeing Nautilus's build. He still doesn't have boots. He's sitting on a sapphire crystal and cloth armor. I mean, where are
Oh,
your
here comes.
boots?
It's a flash ultimate to get A slot, and yeah, he succeeds in getting an A slot to flash out. But here comes Velkoz's ult, and Golden ult just barely misses. No,
Oh
actually, he does
god.
land at the end, it looks like. And that's going to be 2 kills, and White Shadows will look to make quick game of this matchup. Fuse is being used by Ganja right now, and Raven will die in the process. Rookie takes another damage. Here comes Echo with the W, lands the E onto the center. That's the target he wants to go after. Does not land his third auto proc. Flash has to use an Nautilus right there, but Tempe just chasing after the other. He is hungry as well to get kills, but will back off eventually. That's a 4 for 0 right there, and bot lane tower will go down for Lanka Lions.
Like little things as looking at what the enemy. Oh, Ganja flashing in did not manage to kill him, but little things is like not seeing the enemy carry having the QSS and just ulting them just shows like I think the mental has been
So here comes
boomed.
Echo. Echo does have his ult mind. He gets taunted the wrong time, but just uses ultimate at the right moment and gets the AD carry in the process. So
Yep.
at this point, Shocky on that Echo is just styling on Lanka Lions right now with that pickup. He's
Yep.
almost built himself a spirit message. So basically trying to say that I'm not going to take any damage from the center or the Mordekaiser anymore.
Might as well complete the Magi right now.
And he's still doing damage. That's the fun part. Okay, he sees Rammus. He's like, never mind, I'm gonna take a cue on that. But I don't think that's a trade he can win because Rammus is deceptively tanky, mind you, and that's gonna be a fight. And the smite
Does
is
not
smartly
want to
used
give
right
up the
there.
blue buff.
Oh, he gets stunned though.
Yep, that's the 2.5 seconds stun. Decreased by tenacity on the
Yeah,
round.
and then Echo's gonna be in trouble. Does not have it. It's a nice Oriana. No, actually no. That it was a little just hits one person. Raven runs away right there. But Oriana's like greedy right there, and
Ganja's
that's
ult
Ganja
will-
with the
Oh,
kill
wait.
at the end.
Dude, that was so painful to watch. The Oriana putting pressure on the Mordekaiser from behind just forces the Mordekaiser to walk into the Lucian ultimate and basically just kill himself right there.
Oh, rookie. You know, guys, we thought that with Azam, White Shadows look damn good, and then we saw them with Joda, and they look even better. I have to say this. With those supportive AP picks that this guy has, White Shadows have
I
defined
don't know how
the playstyle that is
supportive they
insane.
are. They're just straight up, I'm the carry now, move away, pick.
Yeah, and I really like the build coming out from Nar as well. Gets the QSS so the Mordekaiser can't do shit to him. Gets the executioner stalling so the healing reduction can happen, and himself gets himself a lifesteal item as well. They probably went for a Blade of the Ruined King here. So very interesting itemization from that Nar also. And that's just going to be the top end limit. All 3 items are now down for Lanka Lions. And at this point, this is going to be game. The last team fight happening. Raja gets Nautilus. Mordekaiser gets to ult the Vel'Koz, but Vel'Koz actually gets him back. No, he doesn't. Vel'Koz will look to die, but that's something that's going to happen eventually for Raven, who honestly did his best in this game as White Shadows look to make quick work of Lanka Lions in this best of 3 series. Not before Shadow gets a nice ultimate and kills off Mordekaiser right there. 199 CS at 24 minutes, doing really well, and that's just going to be a game for White Shadows who just want one more kill towards the end, but nope, that's gonna be it. And White Shadows win the best of 3 series 2-0 and advance to the some semi-finals of the Rise of Legion League of Legends Gaming Championship. What are your thoughts on the game first?
I think they executed well to whatever their team comp does. I think in terms of vision game, I think the collective vision from their whole team is very, very good. They know how to place it in the right spots. They know how to defend it also. So also using like, you know, they have complete information when your summoners are down and it's up, and they play accordingly, which is really good to see. And they will be a good opponent in the semi-finals for whoever makes it through out of TRD and the other people they're playing. So yeah, it was a good game from them. Lanka Lions, they tried, but yeah, too many mechanical misplays, I guess, from all the players who were looking in really fine touch yesterday. So weird to see that, but yep, it's hard luck, I guess, and we'll see Lanka Lions in the next tournament, I guess.
Yeah, Fireball, what are your thoughts on this best of 3 series now that you've casted both the games? What do you think of White Shadow's current power levels into the tournament heading into the semi-finals?
As you said, with Joda in the support lane, they just look like a completely different team. They had like a 10,000 goal lead at
User
20
joined your
minutes or
channel.
so. So it was definitely complete dominance coming out of White Shadows. Like if we look at just the post-game lobby screen, the support for Lanka Lions had 4,000 gold.
Yoda
just
did the
4,000
highest damage
Sunken.
yet again, by the way,
Yep.
for White Shadows. The
Yoda
Vel'Koz
coming
pick.
out clutch, and yep.
Crazy, right? So this does it for this stream, guys. Stay tuned at 8 p.m. where we'll be back with another amazing quarterfinal matchup between Storm Raiders and 14K VPG. But for now, do not forget to subscribe to the Legion Gaming India's YouTube channel for all the broadcasts and regular gaming content with some of the biggest names in gaming from around India. We'll see you guys at 8 p.m. for the next game.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.